Okay, so if you've used a Twitter client before, you'll know pretty much how Felix works with the app.net account. On the first column, you have your stream, which is where all the updates from all the people that you follow will be listed. Now, they're actually listed at the moment from new to old, but I did speak to the dev yesterday, and he did say it's something that he will put on his list to maybe look at in the future to go from old to new, because I personally prefer it that way, and I know quite a few people do as well. So you've got your stream, and you just scroll down to look at it, like you would all the other accounts. Then here you've got your mentions, which are any messages to yourself. Then you've got your updates, where you can put your status update with up to 256 characters, which is handy if you like to waffle on a bit like I do. It's a great feature. And then you've got your global feed, where whenever you update your status, it will be listed here. Now, because there's only a small amount of users at the moment, you're probably guaranteed that your update will get seen by quite a few people. So it's quite a handy way, really, of finding some new followers. Then the last one here is your profile, which will be obviously your name, your photo, and details all about yourself and any websites. And then it'll list your posts, your mentions, any starred posts, which is like favourites, and listing all your followers and people who are following you. There's also a list for muted people that you may mute, but of course none of us ever do things like that. And settings, which is very basic at the moment, but no doubt it will be improved like everything else with the app. It does have push, not many of the clients at the moment do, so that's a really handy feature, and why I like Felix as well, because it notifies me whenever I get a mention. And then you've got other little features like choosing which media sharing you want to use, whether you want to save things to Pocket or Instapaper. So again, very basic, but I'm sure it will be improved soon. Now, when you see things on your status update, if you want to reply, there's a reply button there which you just hit, and it replies to put your message and then send it. Obviously I don't want to there. If you wanted to repost it, which is like a retweet in Twitter, you'd hit that button there. If you wanted to save it, if it was like something you want to read later, like a favourite, or if you thought it was an excellent post, then you could just star it at the end. Then in your mentions, again, it works the same way. You've got your reply button, your repost button, and your star. You've also got a conversation button, which if you tap it, it will list all the conversation that you will have had and what they're replying to, just in case you've been in the app and you forgot what you were talking about. So you can see there, I updated it this morning. They've replied to something I've said, and then I've replied again. So again, it works pretty much like any other client that you may have used on Twitter. To send a message, you just type it in. Again, the 256 characters, and then send it. If you wanted to save it for later, you could do. When you cross it out, it'll ask if you want to save it as a draft. But that's just something you could do if you suddenly think of something you want to type, but you don't want to send it quite just yet. And that's it really. That's just the basic details that it does. It's very handy, it's quite useful, and it does everything that you need it to do for that site.